Shalom, Bmore, Shalom, Israel. We're at Isupk, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commanding General Yohana. If it does not say under Commanding General Yohana, it is not the truth. You feel me? We've been bringing this out since 1969. That blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true children of God. You understand? The true Jews of the Bible. And you know, this is the biblical law class. You know, where we actually get into, you know, laws of God. You feel me? And pretty much, you know, we show our people that these words are not our own. That our people here speak, you know what I'm saying? Like, these laws that we follow come directly from the scripture, come directly from God himself. But unfortunately, because we're under such poor leadership, we've never been taught this in all our years on this earth, you know? So this is why it's so important that we learn, we first got to understand what the law is and how it pertains to us and why it actually matters to us, you feel me? But then we gotta find out how we can actually do these things, you understand? It's not hard to keep the laws of God, you feel me? But in order to keep them, we got to know what they are. So that's why this class is so important, you know, the law class. You know, and for us tonight, what we're going to be getting into is the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We have enemies out here. Like, we have enemies out here that are hunting us, that are destroying us. They're murdering us. They're passing bills and passing laws to oppress us. You see what I'm saying? And it seems like it's an ongoing cycle and it will never end. It almost seems like our oppressor in these other nations that's killing us. It seems like they're going to get away with every crime that they have that they commit against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But according to these scriptures, they will not. You see what I'm saying? Like, these other nations are going to be punished for the things that they do against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And they're going to be punished by the Lord. They're not going to be punished by the Isupk. Like, we're not going to go out here and exact any kind of justice on, you know, on these nations that's doing these wicked things and whatnot. The Most High himself, our King, Yahushua, Jesus Christ, you understand? That's where the punishment will come from. You understand? Like, it's not the job of any black, Hispanic, or Native American man to go out there and exact any kind of justice for himself. You understand? We're not to put our hands on anyone. We're not supposed to, like, we're not even supposed to be rude. You understand? The scriptures say, you know, pretty much a paraphrase, do not abhor the Edomite, pretty much saying, like, we ain't got to treat them a certain way. You see what I'm saying? But what we do got to do is we got to come out of that system, come out of his culture. We've got to put our culture back on. We got to start doing the things that the Most High wants us to do. You understand? And that's how we fight. That's our battle. Like the scriptures say, like, right now our war is not carnal. Meaning, like, this is not a fleshly war that we're in. Like, we don't have to get up, you know, get all our guns and bombs and go to war with these people. But what we do got to do, like, this, our war is spiritual. Like, right now, we fighting a spiritual war, which means we got to battle. We got to battle ourselves. Meaning, like, that part of us that wants to sin against the Most High, we've got to battle that. We've got to battle that part of us that wants to celebrate our oppressor's holidays. You know, become one with his culture. We've got to battle that spirit, you understand? Like, we fighting a spiritual war right now. But us fighting that spiritual war is going to bring about punishment for these other nations, because the more we fight and the more we draw closer to our Lord, you understand? The Most High is going to begin to punish these other nations. And we're going to get that in scripture tonight. You know, the first thing we got to understand is who is our enemy. Like, when we say enemy is a black man, the first thing that comes to our minds is another black man. The first thing that comes to our mind is someone who offended us, someone who said something slick to us, you know? You see what I'm saying? Somebody that's wearing a different color, somebody from a different hood, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing we think. But that's where we're wrong. Like, the Most High in these scriptures, he spells out for us who our enemy is. You understand? We're gonna get that in the scriptures. Let me get Deuteronomy 28:68 book for sure.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
It is to say that the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. You understand? Like, anyone who's familiar with scripture, you understand? Or anybody that's familiar with Moses, you understand? Like, Moses had to free the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage. You understand? Like the Israelites, we, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we were actually in bondage in Egypt. You understand? Like the Most High just said, read that part again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And they say the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. You understand? Meaning Egypt means bondage. You understand? And the Lord shall bring thee into bondage again with ships. You understand? Like, I don't care what, you know, a lot of these other nations, they always say, you know, we have the same struggle. We were oppressed too. You know, we were enslaved. You know, we went through so much. You understand? This scripture is very specific. We were the only nation of people that were enslaved. You understand? And brought to our slavery by way of ship. You understand? These other nations, they could actually get marched to wherever they were going. We came on ships, you understand, as slaves here in America. This is the transatlantic slave trade right here that we're speaking of. Keep going.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, you understand? Like, keep going. Read that next part real quick.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Thou shalt see it no more again. Like, where we heard this word at, in our homeland, we're not going to see that homeland, you know, until Yahushua comes back and restores order in this earth, you understand? That's not saying that you can't get on a plane and you can't go and visit, you know, what they consider Israel today. But what it does mean is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we will not be the dominant people ruling our own homeland. You understand? We shall never see it again. Like, we're not over there. You have bits and you know, you have some, you know, so-called Israelites that go over there and stuff like that, and they get a home over there and whatnot, you feel me? But as a nation of people, we're not there. We're still in bondage and still in captivity in the same lands that these ships brought us to. You understand? Keep going.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Unto your friends.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your brothers.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your equals.
Unto your enemies.
It's saying, and there you'll be sold unto your enemies. You understand? Everyone knows who we were sold to. We were sold to the so-called white man, the oppressor, the colonizer. You understand? That's who we were sold to. The Most High is making a distinction right now. The Most High is saying, this is your enemy. That same person that you were sold to, that's your enemy. Like, these are not our words. These are the words of the scriptures right here. These are the words of God right here. The Most High is telling us who our enemy is. Like, we don't have to guess. Like, if we go to the Christian church and you say, you know, they'll say, the enemy is attacking you. Yeah. And you say, who's my enemy? They make it so, they make it almost like mystical. They make it seem like your enemy is some kind of, it's just a spirit being it's spooky. You see what I'm saying? But they can't put a face with this enemy. You understand? They can't put a name to this enemy right here. This is how you know the Christian church does not teach with the scripture the way that God wants it taught. They're what you call false prophets. The Most High is clearly telling us who our enemy is. You understand? Keep going.
Ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
We shall be sold as bondmen and bondwomen, meaning slaves. We were sold to the so-called white man as bondmen and bondwomen, you feel me? And guess what? Nothing has changed to this day. If we think we free, you know, if we think we free, you speak out against some of these groups out here, and you'll see how free you is. You see what I'm saying? Nick Cannon found that out real quick. All of the millions that he had, you understand? As soon as he said that I'm a Jew and said that these Jewish people are imposters, he found out for a fact that he was a bondman, you understand? He found out he was a slave. And for everything that we've been through as a people, he had to go and apologize to the oppressor. Like, imagine that. Like, the oppressor oppressed you, enslaves you, and when you speak out about it, you only saying who you are according to these scriptures. When you speak out on your own identity, you gotta apologize for knowing who you are. That's how you know we're bondmen and bondwomen. We're still slaves to this day. Keep going.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy you. You understand? Like, and that's intended. It's intended that way. You understand? Because that man that buys you will own you. You understand? The Most High don't want us owned. You understand? Like, we'll be bought by the Most High. He's going to be the one that buys us back. You understand? We'll belong to Him again. You know, because let's say someone did come and buy us, right? What would happen then? Let's say a nation came over here and say, well, listen, we want to buy back the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead. Be a second-class citizen to that nation, you understand? We'll serve their gods, we'll serve their people, and we'll be just the same as we are here in America. We'll be the same thing to that nation that buys us, you understand? The Lord don't want that for Israel, man. You understand? Like, but what we're doing is we're bringing out who the enemies are according to these scriptures, man. Like, that black man and that black woman is not your enemy. You understand? Like, that sister who wore the same dress as you is not your enemy. Yeah, you know, like that brother that got a bigger chain or whose braids may be longer than yours, that's not your enemy. You see what I'm saying? The person who made us hate each other, that is our enemy, though. You understand? This is what we're going to see in the scripture. Let me get Lamentations 1 and 5, Brother Bishop.
Lamentations, chapter 1, verse 5. Her adversaries are the chief. Her enemies prosper.
This is talking about Israel, you understand? They say her adversaries are chief, you understand? They have power. You understand? They're ruling things, you understand? Her enemies prosper. Like, if you look at all of the other nations around us, they are wicked as hell. They do everything against God, but guess what? It seems like they're prospering. That's why we emulate them. That's why we take on their culture. Like, it's not a part of our culture to be a drug dealer or a drug user. You understand? That's not black culture. But what it is we start taking on the culture of these other people because we see them being the biggest drug dealers on the face of the earth. We start seeing them being the biggest criminals, the biggest thieves. We start seeing how they live, and it seems like they're living great. Like, they eating high off the hog. That's what they say. You feel me? Like, that's what these other nations are doing. So we say, you know what? If he can sell dope and get rich, guess what? I can too. But guess what, black man? This is not our culture. Like, this is not what we should be doing. So that's why we get punished. These other nations don't get punished the same way we do because we were actually given these laws. You know, they can't have it both ways. They can't have, you know, a lot of nations, they want the blessings of Israel, but they don't want them curses. You understand? In order to be the nation of Israel, you got to take it both. You know, you got them blessings, the blessings, like, we ain't even seen them yet. But we are familiar with them curses. We start talking about them curses in the Bible, it sounds all too familiar. But when we start talking about blessings, it's almost like it's foreign. It's foreign to think that a black man can run the earth. To understand that a black man and black people will be above every nation on the face of the earth, you understand? Like, that's a foreign concept. That's why we fight against it. We fight against it. We're not used to it. If you told the Asian that they're going to be a nation that's above all people, guess what? They'll look at you and say, you know what? What do I got to do? What do I got to do? Who do I got to go and annihilate in order to become this person? You feel me? We already know the so-called white man. You feel me? He'll kill himself if it means he can be in power. You see what I'm saying? Like, only Israel. We the only ones that, because we haven't experienced these blessings, we don't even know, like, we don't know what true power is. You understand? But it is, the Most High is going to bring it out to us, you understand? And say, her adversaries are chief and her enemies prosper. Keep going.
For the Lord hath afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions.
For the Lord have afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. You understand? Like, this is why we're punished. This is why we go through hell right now. You understand? Because of the multitude of our transgression. You understand? Like, that transgression means that we're going against the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us. You know, when we start doing things contrary to the rules, to the laws that the Most High gave us, we get punished for it. You understand? Like, we get punished, and we get punished as a nation. Like, the Lord is not concerned with your individualism. You see what I'm saying? Or you being an individual and you being this way. When we sin, we get punished as a nation. When we get blessed as a nation. When we went into that transatlantic slave trade, you can't tell me that every Israelite was sinning. You can't tell me that every Israelite, you know, shunned the Most High and was not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You feel me? But guess what? We all went into that slavery together. So if we being the people that the Most High love, you understand? If the Most High is willing to put those that He loves into bondage as a whole, do we not think that He's going to do the same to our enemies? Because right now, like we say, once we get into the scripture, we'll see what the Most High is going to do with these other nations. But we have our own people who fight against it and say, that's not right. You know, you got some good oppressors out here. You know, you got some good Asians out here. But actually, they don't say nothing about the Asians. You know, when we start talking about these punishments of the Bible, our mind goes straight to the main oppressor. You'll never hear people, like, when it comes to these other nations, these other heathen nations, when it comes to the Asians, the African, the East Indians, we'll group them together. You'll never hear a person say, well, all Asians aren't bad. You never hear that. But when it comes to this oppressor, that's when we want to individualize everything, you understand? But if God punished the children that He loved, if He punished us as a whole, guess what? He's going to punish our oppressor as a whole as well. And we're going to get that in the scripture. That's not our words, you understand? So, keep going, Brother Kashal.
Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy.
Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. You feel me? Like, we seeing that to this day, right now. Like, though the news is not talking about it, like, you know, you don't hear Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, you understand? You know, who ran on the backs of black people, blacks, Hispanics, and Asians. You don't hear them talking about our children on that border that's still getting raped, molested, you understand, abducted, sold into sex slavery. That's still going on our border, right? On this border here, you understand? Like, our Isupk brothers and sisters are being tortured right now. You understand? No one's speaking on that but the Isupk. You understand? Like, this so-called black woman in office, she's not even black, but that's what everyone perceives her to be. You understand? You would think that she would have some kind of, you know, some kind of feeling or empathy at least to say, you know what, those children should be getting snatched from their parents. You know, let us do something. Joe Biden said, well, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. You understand? Like, an oppressor then took your black card if you did not vote for him. Like, imagine that. You see what I'm saying? But right now, our family is being slaughtered and murdered and raped, you understand, on that border. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what's happening in this earth. There's nothing changed. Like, the Most High is showing us as a nation of people who our enemies are, you understand? You understand? So, if I could drop that, let's go over to Joel 3:19. gonna get in this. We're gonna get in these scriptures, man. We're gonna understand. We're gonna see why must our enemy be punished. You feel me? Like, do we dislike or do we say these things because we just dislike every white person? Like, is that the reason why we say these things? Absolutely not. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we did those things, we wouldn't be no better than them. You see what I'm saying? However, the crimes that they've committed, they've never paid for. You understand? This is the reason why they got to be punished, because they've never been punished for the crimes they committed against us. Anybody who commits a crime against the so-called oppressor, look at when they bombed in 9/11, they bombed America. Even so-called white oppressors, Christian oppressors, they say, you know what, we got to go to war. We got to respond to this. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't no turn the other cheek. You know, let's forget about it. Let's just let it pass, you know. Let bygones be bygones, you understand? It was none of that talk. They said, let's go back and let's get revenge for what happened to our people. You understand? They know what judgment is. They wanted judgment for those that, I only think it was more so for the people that lost their lives. I think it was just the mere fact that you actually came over here and bombed them. You see what I'm saying? They said, nah, we can't have that. We need justice for this. And if it means, you know, America going over there and killing millions of Arabs, which they did, innocent ones as well. Men, women, children, baby, cattle, infant, insect, everything. They annihilated it. You see what I'm saying? Because he wanted his justice. Go ahead, War. Done. I heard the number was close to 3 million over there. Yeah, and that's because they were killing innocent people. They were killing people that had nothing to do with that. Go ahead. Right. Right. And still to this day, they're still over there murdering them. You see what I'm saying? Like, this oppressor that we're under, when he wants justice, he gets justice, you understand? The Lord wants justice for what happened to his people as well.
Is it ironic though that the way they describe justice is destroying and loving and killing people that had nothing to do
Right.
with what happened, the same way they say now they're going about keeping them on, but not having to do that.
There you go. Because they say, when they go and they get their justice, they say, well, this person may grow up, he may be a threat too. You understand? This boy may be a threat. He's going to remember what we did, so we got to kill him too. You understand? Like, that's not even our rhythm, though. You see what I'm saying? The thing is, the children of our oppressor, they benefit from all the crimes that they've committed against us. You see what I'm saying? Like if you look at the banking system, if you look at the businesses, if you look at the homes, if you look at the land, you understand? Like, they've taken everything. And they'll say, well, I never owned a slave. You know, what my forefathers did, I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, but you're sitting on 30 acres of land, you feel me, that you've never worked for. You see what I'm saying? You call yourself a Native American, you know they used to have what they call a $5 Indian. When the oppressor would go down there and sign his name up and give $5, you feel me, so you can get land and stuff like that. Like, this is what happens. Like, we're not cruel to the point where as though we just gonna dislike you and punish you just because we dislike you. You understand? That's what a child would do. Understand? But you, like, a people gotta be punished for the crimes of their people. Everyone understands that. You see what I'm saying? But let's see what the Lord has to say. You got that Joel 3:19?
Joel chapter 3 verse 19.
Verse 19.
Verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness.
They say Egypt shall be a desolation. That's what you see right now. If you go over to Egypt right now, you know, if you go over to Egypt right now, it's nothing but a wasteland. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing good about Egypt right now. You go over there as a tourist, you feel me? You're gonna get hijacked. You're gonna get robbed. You see what I'm saying? You got nothing but them sand things that roll. Like Egypt is a wasteland right now. You feel me? It's desolate. And they say, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. You understand? This is to come. This is what's going to happen in Esau's land. You understand? Go ahead. Come.
There are no bathrooms.
Come. In the ancient pyramids, they out there tell you, that's why they say it's a wasteland. You feel me? That's exactly what it is. You see what I'm saying? Even people don't realize what Egypt used to be. Egypt used to be America back in the day. Egypt was once the superpower of the world. You understand? And the reason that they became so great is because they had us as slaves. When they had us as slaves, you understand, their economy was booming. You understand? The same way America is booming right now, and America is looked at as a superpower, that's what Egypt was in ancient years when we were slaves there. The only reason America is the way it is now is because it's because we're slaves here now. You understand? But guess what? The Most High is calling us back to Him by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. He just said that Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. Keep going.
For the violence against the children of Judah.
For the violence against who?
Against the children of Judah.
This is the reason right here. This is the reason they're going to be a desolate wilderness. Because of the violence against the children of Judah. You understand? Like, what this oppressor has done to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Lord will not forget, the Lord will not forgive. You understand? Like, this ain't one of those, you can kill who you want to kill, and because you think we don't have no protection, you feel me? Right now we don't have no protection in this earth. Like I say, Judah, the gates of Judah language. You understand? Judah mourners. Right now we don't have proper protection in this earth. You understand? But in the overall scheme of things, the Most High is watching. He is our Father, you understand? And we sinned against Him. That's the only reason He has not fought on behalf of us. But guess what? The Most High is sending His prophets, priests and prophets, and eyes should be gave. He's sending us into the streets. Brothers are waking up right now. Sisters are starting to wake up. And guess what? We're raising children in this truth right now. You understand? And these children that we're raising up, guess what? They're going to have children. Judah is waking up, you understand? And in the midst of us waking up, guess what? The Most High is going to return to us. I mean, matter of fact, the Most High never left us. We left Him. We're going to return to the Most High. And when we do that, them people who touched us, them people who murdered and slaughtered us, guess what? Got a penalty to pay, man. You understand? You can't shed the blood of the children of the Lord and expect nothing to happen to you. You understand? Keep going.
Because they have shed innocent blood in their land.
Because they have shed innocent blood. You understand? Like, every time we turn the TV on, man, we see a brother being murdered. You can easily look at that board and see the annihilation of our Isupk brothers and sisters and their children. You understand? Like, when we look at those things, like, this is innocent blood that they're shedding. You understand? That's why I say Edom will be a wasteland. Guess who else did that? This was the same thing happening in Egypt. They would get mad and they would go over there and they would go and when we were slaves in Egypt, they would whip our backs and beat us and stuff like that. And if they murdered one of us, so be it. You understand? Roll us over, you feel me? Next man up. That's how it was for them. And you see what became of Egypt. Like, the Lord destroyed their entire army in one setting. You understand? America better watch out. This oppressor that we're under better watch out. You understand? Because the things that they've done, and here's the thing. When you've done something wrong and you know you're guilty of something, subconsciously you know you got to pay for it. You understand? You know you got to pay for it. You know something's coming. Like, you know that you're not going to get away with this scot-free. You understand? But because it's black people, they understand that we don't have We don't have proper leadership. We don't have people. We don't have leaders that's protecting us. You understand? So they feel like, oh, they're black, so we can get away with it. Nah, because the God of Israel, you understand, the God of the heavens, that's our Father, man, and He's going to repay Esau the same way He did Egypt for what they are doing to His children, man. These are not our words, though. Understand? Let's go to Obadiah 1-10, Brother Bishop.
Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10.
Start at verse 9, Brother, if you could.
Verse 9. And thy mighty men, O to men, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mouth of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
It is, and they're mighty men, you understand? They're going to be dismayed. They're going to be astonished, you understand? At the fact that every one of them, of the mount of Esau, you understand, will be cut off by slaughter. You understand? Like, you take a people that's so used to having power, so used to dominating, bullying other people, you understand? So used to destroying the Lord's people. They're arrogant and cocky in their ways, you understand? They're very prideful in their ways. You understand? It said that they're going to be cut off by slaughter. Why? Keep going.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, you understand? Like, this is why they're going to be cut off. This is why they have to be punished. Because of their violence against their brother Jacob. Now, you know, so for those who may not be familiar why it's saying thy brother Jacob, you know, just a quick recap, you know, Genesis, the 25th chapter, it speaks of Esau and Jacob. They were twins. You know, we fought in the womb. You see what I'm saying? Like, we fought in our mother's womb. Esau, being the so-called white man, and Jacob, you know, being the fourth, the progenitor of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we actually fought in our mother's womb, you understand? We were physical brothers. But guess what? The Lord put a difference between us. The Lord said that there are two manner of people in thy womb. Meaning, like, if you take two brothers, or you take two children that had the same mother and father, that's one person, that's one people. You see what I'm saying? The Lord separated us from them. The Lord said two manner of people are in thy womb, you understand? The Lord separated us from the so-called white man. You understand? Though he was our physical brother, he would not inherit these promises. He would not inherit these laws, statutes, and commandments, you understand? That was passed down from Jacob, down from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you understand? He would not take part in that promise. Though the Lord gave him a few blessings, he did not get the promise, you understand? And because he did not get that promise, you understand, he's our brother physically, but in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to this come to us spiritually, he's not our brother, you understand? That's why the scriptures say, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, you understand? Like, shame is going to cover him. It's already covered him. Like, he laid waste to our bodies in these streets, man. This is why he has to be punished. Finish that off for me, Brother Bishop.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
And thou shalt be cut off forever. What does that mean? What does it mean when they say thou shalt be cut off forever? That means that the so-called white man, you understand, when God gets finished punishing him, he's going to be like what you see in a museum. You know how, like, you go to a museum and you may see a dinosaur and your kids say, did they really exist? You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, kids want to know, like, you know, wow, look at this dinosaur. Like, they were probably strong back in the day. You see what I'm saying? That's how the so-called white man is going to be. He's going to be an exhibit. And our kids will say, he ran the earth one day? Yeah, he used to run the earth. Like, this dude used to run the earth. Not knowing that he was the devil that the Bible spoke of, you understand, who ran through every bit of territory that he touched. You understand? Most High say you got to be cut off forever, man. These are not our words. These are the words of the Most High, though. You understand? Let me get Psalms 83 and 4 of Kasha.
Book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
This is what they said, you understand? Like, this is what our oppressor, as well as these other nations, this is what they say about us. Read that again.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, you understand? Like, they don't even want us to be a people. You see what I'm saying? That's why every time you see a group of brothers that's in harmony, you understand? Like, we ain't got to be beefing all the time. But you see a group of brothers that's in harmony, guess what? That oppressor going to come in the midst of it, and he's going to bring some kind of this division there, you understand? They don't want us to be a people. They want us to be mad and murder each other, you understand? This is what they want. They don't want us to be a people. Keep on.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
They say that the name of Israel would be no more remembered, you understand? They seek to cut us off, man. Like, they don't, like, that's why they go so hard at a black man who says, you know what? I am an Israelite. I am an Israelite. A black, like, you can say you anything in the earth. You can say I'm Islam. I'm an Arab. You can say I'm an Asian. You can say, what they always say, I'm the natural man or something. What do they call it? The original man. I'm the original man. You know, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm third. I'm Kemet. They give you all of that. You see what I'm saying? We can say all of that, and the so-called person, like, you can have it. That's cool. You ain't got to apologize for that. But let you say, no, I'm an Israelite, specifically from the tribe of Judah. No, I'm an Israelite, specifically from the tribe of from Ephraim, from Manasseh. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm a Benjamite. You know, I'm a Levite. Let you know your identity in this earth. Guess what they're gonna do? You gotta apologize for that. You see what I'm saying? You can't hold on to that kind of knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Where the hell you learn that at? We got them records buried deep in the Vatican. You feel me? How did you get information on that? You see what I'm saying? You gotta apologize. And you know what the weak of us will do? They'll go and apologize. They'll say, you know what, I was misinformed. I didn't have enough information, you know. You know, I didn't take these people what they said. I didn't take their pain into consideration, you feel me? And I apologize for that, you know. I am a black man at the end of the day. You're a coward. That's what it is, you see what I'm saying? Like, we had these so-called this athlete, you know, they had the brother football player came out and said, man, I'm an Israelite. Deshaun Watson. Not Deshaun Watson, the wide receiver used to play for the Eagles. Deshaun Jackson. He came out and said he was an Israelite, you feel me? He was all over ESPN. That's when Max Kellerman was like, you know, this ideology and this low information. This low information that these people are walking by calling themselves Israelites. Black people call themselves Israelites, you know. This is what you call low information. Like, this is what the oppressor say. We can be anything else under the sun. We can call each other the N-word, we can call each other the B's, we can call each other all this other stuff, you feel me? It's not looked at as low information. The Lord forbid you know who you are. This earth don't want to hear that from us, you understand? That's why I say, and let us cut them off from being a nation that the name of Israel may be no more remembered, you understand? They don't want us to remember who we are, man. But guess what? The Lord is going to see fit that we remember who we are. That's why you have the Isupk. That's going to raise up every brother and every sister, you understand, according to the will of the Most High, you understand? Drop down to verse 12 from the book, Bishop.
Psalm chapter 83, verse 12. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession?
They said, who said, let us take to ourselves? Ain't this what they did? Ain't this what they did when we read in Deuteronomy 28:68? They took the houses of the Most High into possession. Like, this is what they do. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High in possession? They know who we are. They know who we are. That's why they seek to possess us, man. Like, they seek to possess our Isupk brothers. For those who don't understand, the Issacharites are the so-called Mexicans. They seek to own our Isupk brothers. That's why whenever you hear of, what's the term for the ICE agents? Whenever you hear of an ICE raid, the first thing that come to mind is, man, they mess with the Issacharites, they mess with the Hispanics, the so-called Mexicans. But according to America's statistics, the East Indians and the Asians are number 1 and 2 for illegal immigration. So why don't they have to run when the ICE agents come into to the city? Why aren't they looking for quote-unquote safe cities? You see what I'm saying? Because the earth knows that they're not Israelites. They seek to have Israelites as a part of their possession. You see what I'm saying? They want to own Israel. You understand? Like, that's what these nations want to do, and they only know it. Like, they want to own us because they know who we are. They know the power that we are. They know the power that we serve. Like, we gotta remember, our records were stolen. That's why we clawing, trying to find out who we are, trying to make our way back to our position in this earth, to our place of prominence. Their records were never stolen. They know who we are. They still have their records intact right now. You see what I'm saying? But it said, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High in possession. This is what these nations do, man. You know, these are some of the reasons why our real enemy, that man, that nation of people, that nation of people who brought us, that nation of people who seek to possess us, this is why they have to be punished, man. It ain't because of the color of their skin. You understand? They're not the only ones gonna get punished either. But they are the chief. They are the chief amongst the oppressors, you understand? But we're not mad at color here. We mad at crimes that's been committed against our people. You know, they just legalized, or they just made Juneteenth a federal holiday. Juneteenth, a federal holiday. You see what I'm saying? To commemorate blacks being freed in America. You know, to bring this out, and blacks should have a sense of pride about themselves. You understand? Everything that they give, how the scripture say, a gift destroys the heart. This was merely, this is something that you would give. This is something that you would give a prostitute. You would give a prostitute something like Juneteenth in exchange for a service. You see what I'm saying? Because you know what we're going to do? We're going to say, you know what? They gave us Juneteenth as a federal holiday. We're going to go out here and we're going to work harder now. We're going to be more diligent in how we serve this oppressor. You understand? Because he's starting to understand. He's starting to see the fight that we've been battling. You understand? We, as though everything that he's doing, everything that he's given as gifts to black people, is nothing more than symbolic. It's all symbolism. It means absolutely nothing, though. But we just seen the first act of the first business that the president did was he passed laws for the transgender community, so that a person that was born, a male that was born 6'8", can turn into a woman. You feel me? And go play basketball and go into the bathrooms with our daughters. You see what I'm saying? Like, he passed a bill to legalize that. You see what I'm saying? Then they went down and they passed a bill that you better not lay your finger on no Asian. you better not touch one of them. Lord forbid Lord forbid they shoot our kids, you feel me, and we retaliate against them. He can shoot our kids and get a $10,000 bond. We smack them around a few times, and guess what? That's a federal offense. You see what I'm saying? That's the bill they passed for the Asian. You understand? You better not touch them. Just like the Most High said, like, I am your protection. These other nations knew not to touch us because the Most High was with us, right? And strange enough, things are so reversed now that America is now standing with the Asians. To the point where if you touch one of them, you feel me, America's going to come down hard. Though they can shoot, rob, do whatever they want to do in our communities to us, we don't even have the freedom to defend ourselves against them. They beat the hell out of our women in these stores. Like we only see what the camera capture or what makes the news. Black women are getting beat every single day going into these Asian establishments, man. Whether it's Asian restaurants, their little yakami joints, their hair stores, you feel me? Their nail shops, you feel me? Black women are being abused by these Asians in these establishments, man. You understand? But it's not making, we only see the ones that make the front page news. But we don't see the countless of stories how, they look at a young black kid and they think they steal and they go upside their head with a broom or a paddle or something like that, you feel me? And nothing happens. Because that young girl don't have a protection. She don't have no one to run to. That little boy, who they think is stealing out their store, you feel me? Like, they do Lord knows whatever to the boys. Don't nobody give a damn about our sons, you see what I'm saying? But it's like, as soon as something happened to them, they actually got a bill. That actually means something. They got a law passed that actually means something. Because you can't deal with them a certain kind of way. But when it comes to blacks and Hispanics, we got Juneteenth. You see what I'm saying? This oppressor is going to be punished, man. Let me get Jeremiah 28:8.
Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
It is the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against both many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. You understand? This is what's happening right now. So why they say, Isupk, y'all just too aggressive. Y'all too aggressive. Why y'all just can't be friendly and try to get along with people and try to, why can't you just just talk to people, you feel me? I mean, we've been talking, goddamn. You see what I'm saying? Like, how much more do we need to do? Like, we've been talking, but when we see, unlike Martin Luther King, who say, I see my people run into a burning building, and then he get quiet and don't say nothing. We see our people about to be destroyed, so we yelling now. Hey, we can't do that. Hey, we gotta move different, man. If you go into that way, guess what? You gonna die. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're doing right now. You understand? The scriptures say, lift thy voice as a trumpet. You understand? Like the earth gotta hear us, man. The earth gotta hear us, man, because the Lord is calling his people back. And right here you see with the prophets of old, they prophesied the same thing we're prophesying. About kingdoms falling, about nations falling, about war, about pestilence, you understand? Like, we just we on the tail end of a pestilence right now, you understand? The coronavirus. They think that they're in the clear, you feel me? But the Lord is going to send more. This is just the beginning. The Lord is going to send more pestilences and whatnot to destroy these nations, man. But it's up to us. If we want the Lord's protection, we've got to come back to him and do what he's telling us to do, man. We can't be out there doing what we want to do, saying, man, I ain't listening to the Lord, man. Like, That's all that old crazy talk, you feel me? Them brothers, they crazy. Look how they dress, man. They got the fringes on their pants, man. They geeky, you feel me? Like, that's how, like, you could think that way if you want to. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? The Lord is with us. The Lord is with us. And just to be real, I don't care who you are, you can think what you want to think, you feel me? The earth is starting to realize it now. The earth is starting to realize it. I can understand in 1969 people said, oh, those brothers are crazy. But everything that they were saying in 1969 is either come to pass or is coming to pass right now. Brothers don't look too crazy from 1969 no more, you see what I'm saying? The Isupk don't look too crazy no more when we say we gotta separate. When we realize that every time we go into their cultures, every time we go into their establishments, every time we try to be like them, we die. You understand? We don't look too crazy now. You understand? You can think what you want to think, but the Lord is with us, man. And we're doing nothing different than what the priests and prophets of old did, you understand? And what we're doing is we're prophesying against these nations that murder us and get away with it. They kill and rape and rob us, you understand, and get away with it. And then they pass on our wealth to their children and their children's children, you feel me? And their children's children oppress our children, you understand? Like, this is what happens, man. Listen, that don't sit well with nobody in the earth, but guess what? It don't sit well with the Most High. If what's happening to blacks and Hispanics right now was happening to anybody on the face of the earth, this entire earth would be in World War III already. You see what I'm saying? Because of the treatment of their people. But because we're blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, people act like, you know, they gotta accept this, man. They're lucky we even let them over here. Like, that's their attitude towards the Lord's children. The Lord is going to repay them double, if I might add. He's going to repay them double for what they've done to us, man. For how they got us out here in these streets, murdering us and killing us, you know. There's a punishment that must be paid, you understand? Drop that. Let me get Isaiah 51 and 22, Brother Kishore.
Isaiah chapter 51 verse 22. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again.
Hey, listen, the Most High is saying, listen, I pleaded the cause for my people, you understand? Like, the Most High is, like, Christ pleaded, the Most High is pleading the cause of his people, you understand? He said, I've taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling. Right now, there's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Like, this is a future prophet that's coming, you understand? Like, right now, if you look at blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have that hand. We have in our hand a cup of trembling, you see what I'm saying? And inside of that cup, that means every time we go outside, you understand? We gotta watch, we gotta look to see, you know, where, you know, make sure we ain't in harm's way. We gotta look over our shoulder, make sure that police ain't breathing down on the neck, that we ain't being hunted. You feel me? Like, that's a cup of trembling. We gotta raise our kids that when, you know, anything that happens, you dealing with the police, you gotta deal a certain way, you understand? You gotta put your hand, you know, we gotta deal with all of this nonsense, you see what I'm saying? That's a cup of trembling. You understand? Like, this is what we're dealing with right now. It's even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Like, the dregs of the cup of my fury, like, when the Lord's furious, people die. You understand? You look at every major black city, you feel me? The death rate there, what is it? 350, 400, 500 in some places. Every single year. You see what I'm saying? That's the cup of the Lord's fury. People die, man. This is normal to us. This is what we've been living. But the Lord said, guess what? We should not drink that again. Hey, black man, you ain't got to worry about that again. Hispanic man, Native American man, you ain't got to worry about your children being separated from you again. You ain't got to worry about somebody coming and taking your kids out your arms and to make it seem like you're illegal even though this is your land. You see what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to worry about that again. Because you know what? I'm going to take that cup of trembling, I'm going to take that cup of fury, I'm going to take it out your hand. And I'm going to put it into the hand of those who oppress you. You see what I'm saying? So if we look at those who oppress us, matter of fact, keep going. Read verse 23, Brother Bishop.
But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
Here we go. I'm going to, hold on. Stop right there. I'm going to put it into the hand of them that afflict thee. The same people that's oppressing us right now, guess what? The same terror that we suffer, the same oppression that we suffer, the Most High is going to take that out of our hands and He's going to put it in their hands. And you understand? They're going to get a taste of what we go through, man. They will not go unpunished. Keep going.
Which has said to thy soul, bow down.
Like, that's so heavy. Like, which said to thy soul, bow down. Like, imagine you slaving. Imagine slaving, you understand? You the best worker at that slavery, you feel me? You gotta do that with a smile on your face. You see what I'm saying? You can't go in there and with your true spirit on, you feel me, of being angry. You understand? You gotta go in there and smile and listen to a corny joke, you know, listen to them eat them damn bagels with, you know, like, you gotta go and be amongst all of that, you understand? You gotta do it with a good attitude. You gotta smile more. You don't be so militant. Don't be so rough and so tough. Don't be so masculine. It's toxic. Don't be that way. You see what I'm saying? This is what they tell us. They're telling our soul this. You see what I'm saying? They tell our soul to bow down. You understand? Keep going.
Bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over.
That's what they do. They tell our soul to bow down. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as to the street, and as to them that went over. Like, this is what happens to blacks and Hispanics right now. Like, right now, everywhere you walk in America, we're walking on the bones of the North American Indians. You understand? That we're literally walking on the bones of our brothers. You understand? That this so-called oppressor put them there. You understand? Like, this is, and when we see what happens with Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, you understand? Philando Castile, you know, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, like the list, the name Eric Garner, like it goes on and on and on and on and on. You understand? Like, this is them laying our body as to the street. You understand? Like, this is what they do. They murder us, man. They murder us, and this is what they expect us to accept this. Like that cop that had his knee on the brother's neck for 8 minutes. Here's the thing: if you got your neck and all your weight on somebody's neck, I mean your knee on somebody's neck, you know for a fact that it's life-threatening. You ain't even got to be an expert. You know just by damn near a law of nature that if I'm putting all my weight on somebody's neck and they can't breathe, there's a good chance they might die. You feel me? You don't have to be trained to know that. But it's not, like, what's even worse is not even that he did it. They looked around and a brother could not come over there to save his own brother. You see what I'm saying? We had to accept that. We had to accept that murder. You see what I'm saying? They choked out Eric Garner with illegal moves and whatnot because of a cigarette. And we're expected to just sit there and watch that. You see what I'm saying? They want our soul to bow down, man, as they lay us to the ground, man, as they lay waste to the Lord's people. This is what they expect of us, man. Like, it's disgusting. This is why they have to be punished, man. This is why the Lord said, I'm going to punish them. You know, he just said, I'm going to take that cup of trembling, that cup of fury that I've got in your hands right now, and I'm going to put it in his hands soon enough, you understand? If I could drop that, let me get Isaiah 14, verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
The Lord will have mercy on every black, Hispanic, and Native American man, and will yet choose us again, man. Keep on.
And set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Uh-oh. Baby, Isupk We've been wrong the whole time. Let's pack the book up, you see what I'm saying? It just said the stranger's going to be join with us. All they got to do is believe and be ready to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you understand? Like, Isupk have been wrong. We've been telling y'all for years. Let's just read on. Keep going.
Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
It's saying the people shall take them and bring them to the place. Man, they're going to be living with us and everything. You feel me? Like y'all saying they ain't going to make the kingdom. Like, they're going to be living. They're going to be in our place with us. You understand? Keep going.
And the house of Israel.
The house of every black man, yeah, every Hispanic, every Native American man, you understand? Keep going.
Shall possess them.
Shall what?
Possess them.
Shall be equal to them.
Possess them.
It shall possess them, you understand? When you possess something, that means you own them, you understand? We will own these strangers, these other nations that's amongst us. Keep going.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors.
They say they shall take them captives, you understand? These nations, our oppressor, the same one who have us in slavery right now, you understand? We're going to take them as captives, you understand? Even the good ones. Even the good ones, you understand? The ones who you know, during the protest, they march with us and, you know, they sing Kumbaya by the campfire, you understand? They're going to be captives, you understand? It said, whose captives we were. Like, we were their captives. It said, we shall rule over our oppressor, man. We're going to rule over these oppressors, man. But we got to do it according to the Lord, man. That's why every black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, we got to come back to serving the Lord. You know, get into the Isupk, come to these classes, man. I mean, sit down in the chair and put your real spirit on. Understand what the Lord expects us to be doing in this earth, man. That's the rule. I mean, that's the how does Scripture say? That's the duty of every black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and child, is to serve the Lord, man. Put our spirit on. Let's go get that, and let's go get this. You know, regain our power in this earth. You understand? Through the Most High. Okay, drop that and drop down to verse 21.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter.
What does that mean? When they say prepare slaughter, what does that mean? Good. Yeah. Prepare to die. You understand? Like, these are the Lord's word. Like, that's the crazy part. Our Christian pastor never, like, the Christian pastor has never taught this. Good.
It's not just a death, it's slaughter.
Right.
You just don't, it's not an easy death.
Yeah.
It's slaughter.
You're getting slaughtered, you understand? Like, the Christian pastor can't teach this. You understand? It's too direct. It's too confrontational. And when you speak like this, you can't prepare slaughter for a spirit. You see what I'm saying? When you prepare slaughter, it's for a person. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to identify who that person is. And the Christian pastor ain't willing to do that, you understand? He ain't willing to say what the Lord is telling him to say, that he's got to prepare slaughter. Keep going.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
For his children. Go ahead.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
For slavery, you understand? For what's going on that border right now, you understand? The Most High is saying prepare slaughter for his children. Understand? For the iniquity of their fathers, you understand? Because they get to benefit because of the iniquity of their fathers, guess what? Prepare slaughter for them too. This is what the Lord is saying. This is not the words of the Isupk. These damn sure ain't my words. You see what I'm saying? The Most High is telling us to prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Keep going.
That they do not rise.
And this part is very important. Read that again.
That they do not rise.
Go ahead.
Nor possess the land.
Go ahead.
Nor fill the faces of the world with cities.
Listen, this is so important. The Most High recognizes something that we never do. We try to be all one with this oppressor, you understand? He will beguile us. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of, you understand? He beguiled our forefathers. He beguiled our foremothers. He deceived our foremothers and forefathers. You understand? Guess what? If the Most High does not put him to death, he'll deceive us again. You understand? That's why I say that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Because that's all it takes is, you to have a little bit of compassion for them and don't follow what the Lord said. When the Lord said, prepare slaughter. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to sit there and they're going to talk to you. They're going to be in your ear. And you won't feel sorry for them because they're going to put that little weak face on. You see what I'm saying? And look helpless. The next thing you know, you're going to start showing mercy to them. You're going to show mercy to them. And guess what? When you start showing mercy and start showing love for them, we'll begin to hate each other again. We'll begin to kill each other again. You understand? And this same person that the Most High said to prepare slaughter for, he will rise in this earth again. He'll rise above where we're supposed to be in this earth again. This is why the Lord is saying prepare slaughter for his children, man. That he do not survive this. You understand? Like, these are not our words. These are the words of the Most High. The Most High created these people. So he knows how crafty they are. And he also created us. And he knows how forgiving. He knows how I say, the meek shall inherit the earth. You understand? Black people, we're the most humblest people on the face of the earth. Only thing is, we're not humble with each other. But when it comes to these other nations, we have nothing but respect for them. They can do what they want to do, and we'll find that one glimmer of hope, that one beam of light, and you say, I see the light in that person right there. You feel me? I can forgive them. Imagine if we did that for each other, man. Imagine if the love we gave to these other nations, imagine us giving it to each other, man. There would not be 400 to 500 murders in every black city across America, you understand? Like if one of us loses our life to violence, you understand? It's a problem. And that's how it should be addressed, that's how it should be treated. You understand? But right now, we so in love with this oppressor, and this is why the Lord said we gotta prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of his father. Because if we don't, they're going to rise again. They're going to possess the land, and they're going to fill the face of the world with the face of the world with cities. You understand? This is the talent that this oppressor has. You understand? He can be at war with you, and he can be soft-spoken. He can smile in your face. You understand? He'll even help you out while he's hating you. You feel me? And when the time comes, he's going to turn that knife in your back so deep, you won't know what hit you. You see what I'm saying? This is what you call a devil, a deceiver. And this is why he's so good at it. You understand? If I could, let me get Revelations 13 and 9.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Okay.
Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Who's led blacks and Hispanics into captivity? You understand? Listen, we ain't gotta want to say it, you feel me? But we all know that the so-called white man, this oppressor, this colonizer is the one who led us into captivity. You understand? Scripture clearly says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. But that's not it. Let's keep on.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. You understand? You finish that off?
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Here's the patience and faith of the saints. You understand? Like, that's so important, because the faith and patience of us is to let us know that, like, the faith and patience that we have is to say, you know what? We ain't got to be the one to slaughter him. We ain't got to be the one to kill him. Our king is going to come back and do it. You understand? We're not to lift a finger towards any oppressor on the face of this earth. You understand? Unless it's in direct defense of ourselves or our family and whatnot. You feel me? But we're not supposed to be the aggressors. We're not supposed to be the one that's going out there doing these things. You understand? However, just like I say, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. This so-called oppressor, you think he spread Christianity with love? he spread Christianity with the sword, you understand? He'll tell you about Islam being spread with the sword, because it was, but Islam is Christianity too. You understand? These things were spread with the sword, meaning like if you did not agree with it, you died. This is how they get down, man. The Most High say, you know what? Since you killed with the sword, you got to be killed with the sword. This is the fate of our oppressor, man. This is the fate of any enemy that the nation of Israel had, which is everybody outside of us. You understand? Because everyone has had a hand in our destruction. Has had a hand in our demise. You understand? The Most High is going to repay these other nations for what they've done to the nation of Israel. What we have to do is we have to prepare to return to Him by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? And when we do that, the tide of this entire earth will change, and it can do it, and it can happen overnight. You understand? As a Black, Hispanic, and Native, man, we gotta get on board, man, and we gotta go serve our King. We gotta serve the Most High. And when we do that, these enemies, these real enemies we have, not the ops from up the street. You see what I'm saying? These real enemies we have, guess what? The Lord is going to punish them, and He's going to see it through. That's real judgment. You feel me? And with that, I want to say Shalom Israel. We'll do some prayer. I'm going to say Shalom Israel, Shalom Bmore. You understand? We're the Isupk. You know, check us out on isupk.com. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want these classes, man, you know, get on isupk.com. The website is being revamped. Go in there, check out a city that's close to you, get in contact with the number that's on that city, man, and come on and get in class, man. Like, this is like get in class and run towards our class as if your life depends on it, because it does. You understand? This is where the priests and prophets of the Most High reign at. You understand? Not in the Christian church, not in the Muslim mosque, you feel me? In the Isupk. You understand? So Black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, let's get back. Let's put our spirit on. Let's get our families in order, man. And let's start doing what the Most High said, man, and bringing these other nations to their knees by being righteous to the Lord, man. And with that, I want to say shalom. I'm gonna call priest and officer the war up here for a reading of the security announcements. Shalom, people.
Isupk security announcements. We are the Isupk out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You will find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in Hebrew, and is pronounced Ma'ashra. 1/10 of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. It is a free will offering for priests. It is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. I believe we have the memorial blowing of the trumpets in September. Remind Akim and Aquathim to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for Isupk events and materials. And we also have the Midwest Barbecue coming up in Chicago. Go to isupk.com, get the information on that. Hope to see you there. If a brother or sister, if a brother, let me repeat that, if a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we'll give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Of Israel. Elijah. Elijah Shabbat. Ahmad. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yum Yum Matah. That's dismissed.
I was gonna rip it harder, I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror, no, I'm Alexander, he's no Alexander. I'm the best ever, there's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey, there's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw, there's no one that can match me.
No affiliation, why they faking? This ain't for debating, we the real, they really imitation. I be contemplating why this ain't no like heavy rotation on radio stations. I just pray the Lord give me patience, cause I'm running through these rappers like my name Walter Payton. Shitting on these rappers, 9 to 5 is my occupation. Raw, you come in with your best troops, you best bring more. Already told you I got the juice like Lorenzo. Already know what I'm about to do, bet your men fall. Everyone know that we got the truth, all your men false. So boss, overtaking our enemies. Moves calculated and orchestrated like symphonies. Smooth operator when bringing haters to misery. Top 5 list ain't shit unless you mention me. Yeah, that's why we don't associate. Fuck niggas make them more fuck niggas. Why they procreate? Why they overhate when their time is short and the moment late? Let it culminate to they harder race and it palpitate. Coward perpetrate like they little group is respectable. Talking intellectual, all of you homosexuals, faggots.
There's no one like me, I'm from Nairclaw, there's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart, I want to eat your
I don't
children.
want to congregate, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to fellowship, I ain't trying to build with you. Ain't the UPK, ain't the truth, keep it real with you. Defenders of the faith, I got no problem bumping heads with you. All that bullshit, you can take it over there with you. Rather be a houseboy, rather run with them field niggas. Show them to put in work, move mountain, crush hills, nigga. Take a dead soul, breathe life and make it live, nigga. No affiliation, so it's no one to compare with us. Took the Lord's laws and just added it with fear, nigga. Ain't for the body, cause you know that killer hit quicker. With these bars, I'm on my grizzly, so bear witness. You spit cold, I spit flu, don't get peer sickness. You floss diamond, I floss fringes, don't get peer dentist. You PK, we men of war, shit, we ain't Christian. Harm one of us, get pistol whipped like the gun got a belt with it. I'm bred different, the competition just a mill. I'm fed different, I stood front line with them fields, I bled different. I'd rather be a corpse than a coward, I'm led different. Shit, I'm led different. Come through like a juggernaut, so don't get in the way. And we take everything serious, we don't play. I wonder now what they gon' say. Shit, we make profits out of shooters like the NBA. You get slayed for switching sides, nigga, we ain't on the same page. Immaculate conception, these niggas bitch made. I'm sticking with the foundation where my bricks laid. You switch sides, I'd rather switch cage. You was never with us, nigga, just know we on mission, nigga. Right hand hold the scriptures, nigga, left hip hold the pistol, nigga. How you want it? You can get it spiritual or physics, nigga. Wrong ones to come against, so bring an army with you. No affiliation, when you see us, make the difference with us. No affiliation, when you see us, know we different, nigga. No affiliation, so no, you can't kick it with us. The wrong ones to come against, bring an army with you. Misunderstood for having some morality, but my people there in spirituality, Lord knows. Just a young Hebrew from Killer, California. Used to thug in the streets with no sense of order. Used to love to press the line, even test the water, and almost lost my life from slanging and hanging on that corner. I learned to cut the grass so I could see the snakes. I had to